I'm going to be having a little chat with Ethan, who's joined the HD family finally. How are you doing?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on. Obviously, like, we're still a bit gassed after everybody supporting the EP and stuff. It was a high definition first, by the way. I know you know already, but for everybody else listening, a high definition first, number one. Woo, woo, woo. Right, moving into some questions about yourself. For people who don't know, where are you based? Like, how old are you? Like, let's get into it.
So I'm Ethan, under the alias of Threethan, and I grew up in the Midlands till I was about 18, then went to uni, and I now live around London. I've been DJing since I was 18, so about 6 years now, and then producing for, I think, about nearly 4 years actually. I actually took a production course with Toolroom last year.
Really?
I did, yes. It was awesome. So I finally think my productions are, well, they're 10 times better than they were a year or two ago.
100. Love that. Well, did you do music when you were at university?
No, so I actually did film and television production.
Really?
Yeah. But then I realised, I think halfway through my second year, that music is what I want to do.
Fair. Do you have a part-time job as well? Are you doing stuff like related with that, or is it just...
Yeah, kind of. So I do have a part-time job. I work for a post-production company, but then I DJ when I can, and then I also do photography on the side, like freelance photography and videography.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I'm a bit busy. I like to think so, yeah.
They're really, really handy skills to have, especially with...
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, that's amazing. Would you say they tick into like your hobby boxes as well, or have you got completely separate hobbies?
No, I think I like to turn my hobbies into jobs, kind of. I like to use my hobbies to help other people, but also like doing photos and videography. It helps me network with people in all different types of industries, especially like the music industry.
Definitely. Right, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. All right. So you said you grew up in the Midlands?
Yes, I did.
Tell us how that happened, and whereabouts are you living in London now?
So I grew up in a little town called Nuneaton, which is near Coventry. Grew up there, lived there till I was 18. And then I moved down to Hertfordshire because that's where I went to university. Mm-hmm. And then because my brother's only 2 years below me, it just made sense for us all to move down here. So yes, that's where I'm still living now, in Hertfordshire, but I work in central London, so it's like a 20-minute train journey in.
Yeah, sick. Oh, we'll have to like meet up and stuff because I'm always in and out.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, so we're all quite like close. When you were growing up, were there other people into like the same sort of music as you? Like, have you always been interested in house music when you got into production, or does it start from something else?
So I've kind of been through all different genres while I've been DJing.
I think we all have.
Yeah, I first started off doing like big room EDM. So your Garrixes, your Tiestos, etc.
Sure.
And then it just got a bit samey. So then tried a bit of drum and bass, did a bit of R&B, bit of garage. So I've done even a bit of dubstep as well.
We all
yeah. Oh yes. So then from there I found house about, I think it was about 4 years ago, and it was majority. The majority was like piano house and like summer house and stuff.
Yeah. And
then only in the last sort of 2 years have I found sort of the deeper side of like house, tech house, minimal, like deep tech, that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's finally where my productions are at, and also where that's the stuff I love to play, because it's just it's so like groovy.
It really is. It's gone full circle. Like, you know yourself, like all the genres always change, and like little sub-genres always kind of have pockets where this is really dope for now and then it will change. But it's interesting what you were saying about, especially with like the deep and the minimal deep, and how it's kind of it's kind of like the new deep house. That deep,
absolutely,
deep house is so vibey. But you were saying like you loved your garage as well, so like some of the influences like definitely I think pull through into that too.
Well, I remember it must have been like 2014, so even before I started DJing, there was like Jacking House, which is huge in sort of the Birmingham area, and to sort of go from Jacking House to EDM back to sort of house and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's full circle.
It's a madness, but it's nice because at least like with the samples and everything, like music does live on, and it's really interesting to see like the great stuff that like we're still playing, or even we're thinking of sampling now that we might have not thought about that before when we weren't even producing inside.
Yeah.
So, what's your proudest achievement in your life so far? And it doesn't have to be music; it could be anything.
What a big question.
I put you on the spot, sorry.
A little bit. I think for me, it must have been playing Ministry of Sound.
Yeah.
I think it is like the staple of like international clubs, and to play there just a few weeks after I played Egg, actually. So to play Egg and Ministry within like the space of a month was just absolutely insane.
Oh, that's so cool. I love Ministry as well. It's like one of the, like you said, there's a feeling of like when you go in and you think of like how many people have danced on that dance floor, and how many like mental artists have been there, and you're like, oh my god, like it's crazy. Where's another dream club for you to play? What's another on your list?
I'd actually love to play Berghain in Berlin.
Oh
the
yeah,
one that's like it's the one that's like almost impossible to get into because it's so like secretive. You're not allowed to take any photos in there. It's basically just completely locked down. And I think that would just be the most insane place to play.
Yeah, the experience sounds like literally everything. Right, we'll move on to some questions about leaving, because I loved it, by the way. So thank you, and please send us some more demos. Where did the idea originally come for it? Was it off the back of like doing your Toll Room Academy?
Kind of. So yeah, obviously doing the academy really helped with my like technical production, but I was just in I'd gone through a few months where I really wasn't into production, and I kind of just so in 2020 I think I released about 22 tracks in the year or something ridiculous, and then by doing that I kind of burnt myself out a little bit. And then I think it was when clubs started opening back up in like July last year, and I went out to it was Dance on Arrival at E1, and I remember just being in there listening to just being there feeling the music, and I was like, right, I need to get into this. This is what I want to be. I want to be hearing my own tracks being played on systems like this. And then, so using sort of the technical abilities I've taken from the academy, mixed with sort of the new sounds I've heard from just being out and about, it just all just came together.
That's good. You know what? I think it's with like the pandemic, it was really hard for a lot of us, obviously. But I think the main thing, obviously, was like listening to music, how it should be heard in clubs or even in like bars or like in all different places, because that's how you really get a vibe and like a feel for a track. Like you like you write something, you make something, and you sat on it for a while, and you're like, yeah, this bangs, and you play it somewhere, and you're like, no, it just doesn't pull the feel at all. But then like listening to other people as well, and like the way the music's like moving, yeah, it's really important. I'm glad you felt inspired again, because I know what you mean about burning yourself out. You're just like, whoa.
It happens.
It does. For you, do you prefer DJing or do you prefer producing?
I think if I had to choose one, I'd have to choose DJing, because you'll know this, when you play a specific track and the whole sort of audience or the crowd is just going absolutely mental for it, there is no other feeling like it, because you're all in a moment together. You just supplied sort of energy for people to sort of feel together, and you will never have another moment like that again.
No, it's true. I like to ask this question because, like, you actually explained it really well. I can't even explain it that well, but yeah, it is a bit of a feeling, and you can't really explain it. But yeah, like when you think that you could create a moment to like 100 people or 1,000 people that like only you will all experience in that moment, like. And you can relive it through a phone, you can watch it, and it's great to have them for our stories and stuff to be like, oh look, but you don't feel it unless you're there. So what's the next in the pipeline for you after High Definition? Obviously we want more demos, so please do send them, but have you got any labels that you're allowed to tell us that you're going to be releasing on next?
So I've actually not got any more signings for now. I've got about 6 tracks that I'm sat on that are just waiting to be sent out. All very sort of different vibes, all within the sort of tech house genre. But yeah, I've got sort of like an Afro house kind of one. I've got a very sort of deep techie one. So yeah, plenty of different
variety.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying different things out and trying to find my sound, which I know is, as a producer, it's the most difficult thing, is to create something that is your like signature.
Definitely. It's nice to be able to listen to a record to go, oh, that's a blah 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 track, but then you don't want it to be, oh, you can tell that's a blah 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 track because it just sounds the same. Like there's that fine line.
Exactly.
No, definitely. Right, sweet. Thank you so much for having a little chat with us. What are your social handles for anybody that wants to follow you across the socials?
Basically just DJ Threethan on pretty much everything. A few variations, but pretty much just that.
Sweet, nice and easy. Thank you so much for coming on. Leaving is out now as part of the Winter Sampler. Big love to everybody that's been showing support already. If you want to go and listen to it again, add it to your Spotify playlist, obviously appreciated. Big love to everybody. Life's better in HD. Bye.